Hello, everyone, and welcome. I am Sherry, and this is Standing Stone Wellness, where we make a bunch of things. In today's video, we're going to be making a body butter for the summertime. Now, I don't know about you, but I love all things that are kind of beachy scents. And so I decided to pick up Bum Bum type fragrance from New Directions. Out of the bottle, this is a very light scent. It has hints of nutty, sort of golden sunshine beach day. And I think I'm going to play up this scent with a little bit of natural cocoa butter in this recipe. I know cocoa butter is getting expensive, but I really wanted to use it not only for its skin living properties, but also for its scent this time. And I am also going to add just a hint of a creamy coconut fragrance that I haven't used in anything yet, and I'm actually quite excited to use it because I do love the scent of a creamy coconut. Well, a fragrance. Anyway, without waiting any longer, let's go make some summer body butter. Okay, so I'm going to start out with my hard ingredients, which will be beeswax, kokum butter, and cocoa butter. So if you are interested in this recipe, it will be available on my website, standingstonewellness.com. So I'm starting out with the beeswax. It's a bit much, I'm just gonna take some out. This is my kokum butter. I am measuring in grams today. And now I have cocoa butter wafers. These are naturally scented, so they will have that chocolate scent in them. I did get these on Amazon. I don't normally purchase raw materials on Amazon, but cocoa butter has become outrageously expensive, and this was still reasonably priced when I purchased it. I think even the price of this one has gone up, but I've used it in a couple of recipes and it's worked out really well. So I'm really liking these wafers. I also find that with the suppliers that I use up here in Canada, a lot of suppliers sell cocoa butter not in wafers. They sell it in the big chunks, and then you have to chunk it up yourself. Which is sometimes not the easiest thing to do. So there we go. Now I have some softer ingredients to add to this body butter. So we are doing virgin coconut oil, know if I can get that final part off. Oh, I did! Oh my gosh, that's exactly what I need. And now I'm going to add some jojoba oil. So I'm going to start and heat this up a little bit in my microwave. And then there's one more ingredient before I add the fragrance. Let's go heat it in the microwave. Now you want to be really gentle about how you're heating this. So because of the volume that's in here, I'm going to heat it for 1 minute and then probably a second minute just on its own. And then we are going to do 20-second bursts until it is completely liquid. Okay, so this is nice and melted, and I am going to be adding hemp butter to this. Now, this hemp butter is very soft. You can check your local cosmetic supplier and see if they sell special butters like this one. And if not, you can substitute it with another soft butter, shea perhaps. Maybe mango butter. I wouldn't go any heavier than mango though, that's for sure. And you will have to use perhaps a bit less in your formulation, I think. Do some experimenting on it as to whether or not it would be a good one-to-one substitution. I think you're going to get a very close consistency if you get one-to-one. It's your own preference. You may need to go a little lower than that if you're doing a substitution. But what I'm going to do is just use the heat of what has already been melted and try and get this hemp butter all melted. So I wanted to give you also a note on hemp because there is still a lot of misinformation or misunderstanding about hemp oil and what it is. So this butter is actually made with hemp oil, and it is not CBD. They come from different parts of the plant. I have written a blog post all about hemp, the carrier oil. If you want to learn more about hemp, I will leave it in the description section of this video so that you can learn more about what the difference is and how the carrier oil is actually regulated, and the cosmetic suppliers are obligated to let you know what the ingredients are in it because of the plant that it comes from. But hemp is fantastic for your skin. It just has so many benefits. Okay, so I'm just going to stir this around until it's fully melted, and I will be back in a couple of minutes. Okay, everything is melted and incorporated. So now I'm going to use my blender and just give it a bit of a blend. It's still a little bit on the warm side, so I'm going to wait until it's 120 or less than 120 degrees Fahrenheit before I add my scent here. And yeah, so let's give it a little bit of a spin with my mixer. All right, 4 degrees to go. I'm gonna wait. And with a body butter like this one, you do not have to whip it. I am whipping it because it creates a little bit of a different texture, and also because I'm going to be packaging this in some plastic little containers that I have, which are super cute. And in that case, it has to be a much cooler recipe than it is right now. I could package it right now in glass, but because it's plastic, we're gonna wait until it's completely cool. So wait for a couple more degrees, add my fragrance, and then we'll continue whipping it as it cools down. Okay, it is under 120 now. That happened more quickly than I thought it would. Okay, no, that was just on the surface. When I stirred it, it came back up again. So I'm gonna give it another minute and let it settle. There's actually no rush. I can put this scent in anytime after 120, even if it starts to solidify, because I have my blender. So it should be able to evenly mix about. I'm not really worried about that, but I do want it to cool a little bit more. So I'm gonna give it a couple minutes. Okay guys, it's literally been about 2 minutes, and this is at 118 degrees at this point. So I am going to add in my scent now, and you can see this is a different color. It's becoming a different consistency. It's starting to literally turn into a bit of gel. So here we go with my fragrance. Now, the fragrances that I'm using have a very low usage rate, so do make sure when you're buying your fragrances that you are double checking all of your information, what the usage rate is, whether or not it has vanilla in it. That will tell you if your formulations are going to change color and how much you can safely use. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to give it another spin with my blender, and then I am going to wait for it to get a little bit more solid, but it looks like that's going to happen really quickly. Plus, if you're making stuff at home, I think I've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. Popsicle sticks are one of my favorite things. They're so helpful in so many ways when you're making stuff. Okay, we're going to give this one more spin, and then I'm going to let it sit for a bit. Okay guys, so it has been about 2 hours. I just checked the temperature. It is 83 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 28 for all you guys who work in Celsius. And it is totally solid now. I have these cute jars that I'm going to use. They are 4-ounce jars, but my plan is to fill this up with 3 ounces because 3 ounces of body butter, because I'm not sure these jars will take more, but let's find out. So I have my scale. If you're going to label your products with weight, you want to make sure that you are correct. So, oops. There we go. Okay, so here we are. Can you see this texture? It's wonderful texture. This is amazing. Just want to see if these jars weigh the same. Just a little trick for you guys. My scale is battery operated. Every now and again, it turns off. So first, if you can get a plug-in scale, do it right from the get-go. But if you do have a scale that operates on a battery, it's really helpful to know that all of your packaging materials weigh the same amount. And then that way, if your scale does turn off in the middle of you packaging, you can find out where you are really quickly. So here we go. Here we go, packaging the body butter. All right, so I have 4 wonderful body butters made. I am just going to let them settle a little bit and solidify up just a bit more, and then we're going to test them out. Okay guys, so I decided to name this body butter Beach Bum Body Cream. It has been sitting outside. It's 27 degrees today, and it's been sitting outside for about 30 minutes. Still looks fine. And I made this about a week ago, so it's had some time to sit and all of the ingredients to come together and like each other into what the final product is actually going to be. So it's nice and firm, as you can see. It's totally solid, and it smells like dessert. I don't even know how else to describe it. It's like a creamy, like, I want to say a creme brulee, but you can tell that there is like a cocoa butter in here, and together with that bum bum scent, it smells amazing. I did add the creamy coconut fragrance as well, because the usage rate of both of those 2 fragrances is extremely low. So there really isn't very much fragrance in here. And there is one more test that I want to do with this body butter. So first of all, before I apply it to my hands, I'm hoping that you can hear me snap. And one of the tests that I find of a good body butter is when you apply it, I want it to be able to melt into the skin fairly quickly. I don't like my body butters or body lotions to sit on top of the skin for very long. So I have just spent a couple of minutes applying that. You can still hear my snap pretty loudly, so I think that that is a great trait. I have used it quite a bit over the last few days, and I do notice that it does sink into the skin fairly quickly. Perhaps not immediately, but really, really fast. So I'm really impressed by this guy. It smells amazing. It feels so good on your skin. And I will leave the recipe on my website, standingstonewellness.com. And I'm also going to give you some substitutions just in case you have trouble finding some of the ingredients that I used for it. I'll leave the link in the description. I'm also going to leave a link in the description to the blog post that I wrote on hemp oil because I do think it's important for people to know what the difference is, because it is a fairly controversial plant, because I don't think people really understand all of the different parts of that plant and what it can provide for us, which can be really healthy for our bodies, our skin, and our overall health and well-being. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you're enjoying my content. If you are, give me a like and a subscribe. I post new videos every Thursday. I'm wishing you a wonderful summertime weekend, and I will see you next week. Bye for now.